All right, let's talk challenge progression or flow progression. At my studio, I do not level my classes. As a business owner, it's too hard to level the classes. Every time I've tried to implement a beginner-only class, it just doesn't work. People don't sign up for it. And I think the hard thing is when you assign, say, Monday at 8 a.m., how do you know that all beginners can come then? So it's just really hard on the schedule. I've owned a studio for almost 20 years now, and it's never worked for me in the location that I'm in. So I started layering my classes, layering the challenge so that it starts basic. Every flow starts basic, or every exercise or sequence starts basic. And then I slowly progress to make it more challenging. Doing that offers it opens the door for more people to be able to enjoy the flow. So if progression 1 is easy for everyone, we do progression 1, and then I say, okay, we're going to take it up to progression 2. Stay with progression 1. If you're worried, stay with progression 1. If you want more of a challenge, here's progression 2, and then we go on to progression 3. So by doing it that way, everyone can benefit from the first progression because it's a foundation progression. And then slowly you're offering more challenge. So your more advanced client is going to get just as much work as the beginning client. The beginning client only wants to stay with progression 1 and 2. They're still getting an awesome workout. It's more tailored to them, while the more advanced client is going to be able to go on to variations 3 or 4. So that way, I feel like it accommodates more populations by teaching that way. It is harder to teach that way. You definitely have to plan your classes. You can't wing them as much. So it is harder for the teacher, but once you get used to programming your classes that way, breaking them down that way, it's not so bad. So I'm going to show you an advanced teaser exercise and how I break it down to accommodate everyone in my class. That being said, people in my class don't have any issues. They aren't, if they're pregnant, they've been coming to Pilates for a while, they're going to know their bodies, but they're not going to have a cast on, a broken arm, a broken foot. So that they have to be able to get on and off the reformer on their own. All right, I'm going to show you the full advanced exercise first, then I'm going to show you how I break it down. So just like layering my cues that we've talked about earlier, I layer the cues and I layer the movement. So we're going to do all of those together, okay? But first I'm going to show you the most advanced one, and then we're going to work backwards. Okay. So this is my advanced teaser that I have in Monday Morning Moves, if you have already watched that video or not. All right, so we start here like this. I'm going to extend everything long, and I come to a bent elbow and bent knees. I rock onto the hip. I'm at a diagonal. I extend the legs long, come back to the bent elbow and knees, find that Pilates scoop. So I'm actively maintaining that scoop, and then I rock back to the hip and I extend it long. Come to the tuck position, pause, rock onto the hip, scoop those abs to do that right there. Reach it up, bring it down, and back. Now, can you imagine just throwing that at a class of 10 of beginners, intermediate, and advanced people? Even for the advanced people, I don't think it would go as well, okay? So this is how I teach it. This is how I break it down. I think there's about 4 progressions here, okay? So I'm going to start with the bottom leg bent, top leg is long. Carriage arm is here. My shoulder is directly over that hand, armpit is hollow. Now the strapped arm is right on top of the hip. The elbow is here like that. And I'm just going to practice reaching, bringing it back in. I just cue the movement first. Let your clients start moving. I hate watching clients sit around while I show them the workout. Plus, they don't like standing still. That's when people start looking at the clock, right? Next, so now I'm going to inhale, reach, exhale, resist. Contract that core in the exhale. Inhale, reach. Exhale, contract the core. Resist with the lats, the muscles below the armpits, as you come back in. Now we're going to add another progression. I'm going to inhale, reach, and then tuck the leg in. Good. Just reach the arm and the leg. Everything comes in together. Breath. I'm going to inhale, reach. I'm going to contract the core as the knee comes in. Let's talk about the muscle. You're going to feel the arm work big time. Now I want you to feel the lats and your obliques. So the underneath the arm and that top waistline drawing the knee in. That top waist is drawing your knee in. Now we're going to add to it again. This time we're going to extend both legs and that arm, okay? Just practice the reach and the tuck. Now, it's not just oblique. You're going to feel the tummy working more to draw both knees in. The trick is I also squeeze those thighs together. It helps just a little bit. Now, inhale, reach, contract the core, resist with those lats, and use the tummy to draw it in. Reach it out, squeeze those thighs together, contract the core. Those abs are drawing those knees in. Final progression. This time I scoot forward just a hair. All right, here we go. Full Monty right here. We're going to lengthen the legs and the arm long. Right there. Now I come into the tuck, pause. I'm going to rock onto the hip so both butt cheeks are on the box. I'm at a diagonal. Extend the arm and the legs. Come back to here. Then rock back onto the hip. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about the core, okay? Big inhale as you reach. Exhale, bring it back in. Now find that Pilates scoop. So think about dropping the low back just a little bit and hollowing out the tummy to lift. Extend, bring it back, hollow out that tummy again as you rock back. So those deep transverse abdominal muscles, the deepest tummy muscles you have, are creating the rock up and the rock back down. One more like that. I'm going to reach everything long. Good. Come back to the tuck. Pause. Hollow out that low tummy to lift those knees up. Reach the arm and the legs. Come back to the tuck and then hollow out the tummy as you slowly come back down. All right, so that's a pretty advanced exercise. And it, like I said, not everyone is going to do it. So when we get to the teaser part and someone doesn't feel comfortable, I show that to them and I say, you know what, if this is too much, just go back to the arm and the leg tuck so that there's something for everybody. The badass ones who want to do the extra advanced stuff are happy. The beginners feel safe, they're happy. The intermediate, maybe they're staying with the 2-leg tuck, but everyone is moving. As a teacher, I hate seeing everyone standing still, and it's inevitable. Someone's going to look at their watch or at that time, and that's an indication to me that they're standing around too long and they feel like they're wasting their time. So I hate that. I never let my clients stand still unless it's a 30-second water break or whatever. I want to keep them moving. I never stop to say, okay, everyone stop, watch me do this. I talk them through it at layers so everyone is moving throughout the entire class. Myself, I'm a busy person. When I go to work out, I only have 45 minutes to an hour. I need to make the most of that time. And I feel like my clients are that way too. My biggest complaint I get from clients, besides for the teachers and count well, which I'm so guilty of, is they talk too much, they explain too much, and there's too much downtime. So the way that I've created these flows and sequences eliminates that. I keep them moving while I'm explaining what's coming next. So I hope this helps, and thanks for joining me.